Oh boy, beat down in the SEC tournament by the Crimson Tide. Broken and beat down, not a full team. Uh, Disappointing to lose like that. You never want to lose a game. You definitely don't want to lose it by dang near 30. Um, but I don't know, buddy. What'd you think about that? We watched the game together. What'd you think about the overall performance of the team without Lamont Butler?
The defense was not good. Without Lamont and Butler, um, Colin Chandler and Otega Owe had to switch off guarding Mark Sears and Phylon, so
Yeah,
and
so
it was
they
hard keeping them, and it was hard to stay on the floor and guarding them and keeping them in the spot where they want them.
yeah, they could the if Phylon and Sears could kind of get wherever they wanted to go, right? And Sears didn't have a big game points wise, but let's see, Sears had 4 assists, so pretty decent. But I agree with you. When you lose Lamont Butler and Colin Chandler and Otega Owe have to guard Sears, it created a big mismatch on Phylon, and he's one of the best guards in SEC play. Um, so definitely tough. We pulled up some of the stats that when we looked at for the game, and just overall not a great team performance, and only one really great individual performance, and that was from Andrew Carr, who was the team captain today. And we talked about how that was going to be the guy that Pope was going to lean on. As the steady even keel voice and kind of coach and performer on the court. But he couldn't do it alone in a game where you are down three starters for most of that game, with Otega Owe getting elbowed in the face, which wild how that's a foul on him, right? I mean, he gets stitches at Colin Chandler the game before. Consistency from the officiating would be nice. You can't blame officiating on a loss when you lose by 30, but you can definitely say there's a lot of questionable calls that allowed that game to get out of hand um, late in the second half. But we digress. We talked about how terrible SC officiating is. But when your back's against the wall like that and you're down key players, you have to have a perfect game, right? And you have to have somebody step up. And we thought, who we think? We thought Ansley, Trent Noah, maybe Colin Chandler, and
Brandon.
Brandon Garrison. Yeah, there was not the person that was going to step up and have like a big game. And Otega only had 8 points. Again, he missed most of the first half. Um, but yeah, you were kind of again a little disappointed in Brandon Garrison. Only had a single point. Um, Again, he just doesn't see the floor quite as well as Amar Williams. But really, Amar Williams is kind of playing a little bit out of control too. We got some chats going on here. Yeah, Adam, we agree. It was tough to watch. We did finish watching the entire game because that's what we do as fans. But yeah, it was definitely a sad one. But knowing that we had more to play, right? This wasn't the last game, no matter what, made it a little bit easier. What else, buddy? What did you like in the game? Let's go positive. What was something that you saw that gives you some hope as we move forward?
Um, I I think for a little bit of time we could handle the ball and like pass, but like and then also at the end we we made shots. We made shots. We could start going up, but if we played like that the whole game, we could have won.
Okay, yeah. So, which I think what you're saying is we were starting to get some offense going. We were making shots, but we could going back to the defense side of the ball. We couldn't get stopped, so we were trading buckets at that point. It was too late. And I agree. The first half, the team showed a lot of fight. We did move the ball pretty well. Missed a lot of easy shots at the rim, or even I wouldn't say they're all easy, but if you're getting to the rim, you try to convert those. Um, an Ansley bunny floater that comes up short. Um, some trips to the rim, even by Brea. We talked about his soft touch in the game against Oklahoma, and that just kind of wasn't there. And honestly, coming off a game like last night where you have a game winner and you're on that high and you're up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast time, then have to come back and play today. You could see, especially undermanned, how a team in the second half would just kind of fall a little bit flat and allow that game to get out of hand. Um, the positive that I take outside of Andrew Carr is Travis Perry showed me something today. He was definitely outmatched by Mark Sears and some of the more physical guard play, but I don't think I ever saw him even on a turnover or bad play put his head down. He just kept grinding, trying to get to the basket. He ended up having 11 points. But even in a loss like this, it looked like he grew up even more today, and that's going to be big because we got some good news that it's looking like Lamont Butler is going to be back for the NCAA tournament. Win what round? How many games we have to win for him to see him? Do we see him game one? Do we see him in the second weekend if we get there? Who knows? But him being back is big. Even if he is back in the first game, you hope that we can lean on Travis Perry and not have to put a lot of wear and tear on Lamont Butler, right, and get him out of that game healthy. Um, but it was it. I said I wasn't. We said we weren't going to get worried if we lost this game, right, because we were undermanned. But it does sting to lose. Sting to lose like that, huh? And watch them have to leave Nashville, just getting absolutely beat down. But good job on remembering the light this time. Uh, you tell me what you saw from Kobe Bryant today. He struggled. Why do you think that was? Think it was fatigue? Think it was the Alabama defense? Which one do you think it was?
I I kind of think it was a little bit of both.
Okay,
I think he was getting in his head.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the shots seemed a little bit forced. They played really physical. I think it was a lot of fatigue playing it because he came out shooting the ball pretty well and he looked really aggressive in the second half. Some of those shots fell flat. Um, you know, uh, individual play didn't step up, but again, I think we focused more on the team aspect of it. So we were looking at some stats. I mean, honestly, there's nothing that stands out to me as wow, that was good for Kentucky. You shoot 37% from the field. You go 5 of 19 from three. In a system that Pope wants 25 to 33s a game, you only shoot five, and you only make so that's 5 of 19 is 26%, and Alabama goes for 37%, shooting 11 of 29. You get to the free throw line 35 times, so that's a positive, but you only make 23 of them at 65%. So you that's a lot of wasted points there. You get absolutely worked on the rebounds, so 41 to 34, their advantage. You lose the assist. They had 17. We had 12. 8 or 16 turnovers we had, and it resulted in uh, wow, end up having giving them 30 points in the paint. Just a lot of not good. I'm sorry, we had 30 points in the paint. They had 46 points in the paint. Um, 19 points off turnover. So just running through some stats as you look at those. Nothing there goes, oh wow, we should have won that game. It all results in like, yep, probably going to lose that one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, um, what do you want to see moving forward? The last game of the SEC tournament, we got a week to get healthy. What do you want to see from the players, maybe from the coaches, from the team as a whole? What do you want to see as we get ready for the NCAA tournament and we find out who we're going to play here on Sunday?
Um, I think like this game.
Can be anything. Just say whatever you think.
I think just work together as a team.
Okay. To kind of figure out what we're going to have on the court and
Hmm.
play that way.
Hmm.
I think this is a bury the ball game. Honestly, I think there's some things you can learn from it. But I really think you just say, hey, this was a really talented team we played. We were undermanned. Um, yeah, there's things to learn from it, but I don't think you hang your head and think we aren't able to go and still do well in the tournament. Um, you let it light a fire under your butt maybe and make you motivated for the tournament, but I don't think you really lean on this one and let it get to you too much in a negative way. Um, but okay, so let's get away from Kentucky basketball. You watched all the games, or most of the games in the SEC tournament. You got Tennessee, you got Auburn, you have Alabama, um, and who's left? Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, Florida. Who do you think ends up winning the tournament between those four?
I think maybe Alabama.
You think Bama wins it? I think whoever ends up winning on this side of the bracket, I agree. Between Florida and Bama, one of those two win it. I think Florida wins it. I just they are more talented. I think Clayton Jr. is the best point guard in the SEC, and what they can do and offensively and defensively and pressure the ball. I know Alabama got credited for playing, you know, said it was a good defensive game. I think they got lucky with who was on the court for most of the game against Kentucky and just us missing some point blank shots. Didn't really see an impressive defense. Saw a lot of missed foul calls too that resulted in that. But yeah, so you got Alabama, I got Florida, and to see who goes in and wins the SEC tournament. To be fair, as long as it's not Tennessee, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Um, and Louisville got a win today against Clemson late. So just all bad news today outside of Lamont Butler. But you know, we will be frustrated about the loss, but in a couple days we'll know who we play. We'll get ourselves excited again, and we'll go and just prepare and trust Coach Pope and these dudes that he put together. A lot of still a lot of talent on the team, still a lot of experience on the team, and they're going to step up and win the games they're supposed to, get us to a second weekend. Then from there, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So let's focus on the next two games. Focus on the next game. Focus on the first weekend, the NCAA tournament, and hope we get at least a 3 seed. We should be a 3 seed with a decent draw. How's that sound?
Hmm.
You got any closing thoughts on this game or as we move forward?
This game, I think, for a little bit, the coaching could have been a little bit better.
Oh, you have something like that stands out to you? What is it? Tell Mark Pope.
We had players like Brandon Garrison not playing well for us, and and we could have taken Brandon out of the game and put Ansley in the game because he was sitting out when Brandon wasn't doing good.
So you didn't like the Amari with Ansley and together lineup, or you think Ansley should have played at that five center spot and gone small ball, and so that we could get more shots up, or like more three shots ups for the four out.
Ansley should have played at the 5 spot.
We haven't seen that, and I don't know with Andrew Carr healthy that, um, uh, not that I disagree with you, but if maybe when Carr was in foul trouble, I think is would have been smart. I've been asking for some small ball in some of these games, but Carr could have played the five, Ansley could have played the four, Bray at the three, Ortega, and then to Travis Perry at the point, and then you really straighten. Then you're playing a true 5 out, and maybe you play Cliff out of the game, and you just put them in a position where, especially if they want to play that as fast as they were. Alabama was playing so fast, reckless at times, but we weren't able to capitalize on their turnovers. So I do agree. I think the minutes that Pope got some of these guys was intentional, even as they were struggling. Um, and I definitely, you could definitely see in the last 8 minutes of that game, it was a kind of a pack it in mentality. Let's just get out of here healthy. Like you were asking, like, why aren't some of these guys, why wasn't Bray in the game? Why isn't taking the game late? And it was just, at some point you got to have to concede victory as much as, or concede defeat, I'm sorry, as much as you don't want to. You just say, this is a game we're not going to win, and we move on. Which is never where you want to be, but it's understandable. Again, the SEC tournament is very important for the fan base, but it's not. It's not important for what is important for the program, which is championships. Where do you win your championships?
Defense.
Defense does win championships. You're right, but the NCAA tournament, you win those games, get to the Final Four, you got a chance. That's when you hang banners. SEC banners are nice, but we got plenty of those. We want number 9. We want to add to this right here. But all right, buddy, we'll wrap it up. Let's let the players get healthy, get rejuvenated. Let's get Lamont Butler back, and let's go on and, like we keep saying, shock the world. Shock the world. We still got what it takes to make a deep tournament run. I believe it. You believe it?
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
I know you do. We thought we were going to win this one. We said it yesterday. We didn't. It happens. We move on, and we know Big Blue Nation will move on with us. Another packed out crowd. Shout out to everybody who went to Nashville and really cheer those boys on, and try to carry them, try to bring some life to a very broken and fatigued team. We hate Alabama. We hate Tennessee. We hate Florida. We really hate all the teams that are left, but we'll have to watch them play, I guess. Are we gonna be Duke fans tomorrow?
No, please.
I think we have to be. We can't cheer for Louisville. Maybe somehow they'll both lose. I don't know. It's not possible. But hey, yeah, I think we're Duke and Auburn fans tomorrow, which sounds gross to say, but that's just kind of how it goes when you're a rivalry. But as always, what do we say? Go Cats.